heard, it must be told.
Get the fortune, motherfucking fame. Maintain whenever strain flow with the grain. Woo! Oh shit, man. I can't deny I got a Queensbridge influence in my productions. Can't deny it. And that's why. I'm a big fan, huge fan of anything comes from Queens or Queensbridge, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I used to get anything from there, you know. I don't know, they had a certain sound, they had this their own kind of flow, the voice, the beats, the samples in the beats and everything, you know what I mean? Like, I love that shit, like starting from Nas' first album, man, Mobb Deep, man, actually the second album, the Infamous, and then the one after Hell on Earth. Hell on Earth, this album was pure perfection. Havoc did this thing and the raps and everything is like Infamous is classic, but Hell on Earth is perfection. You know, they took what they did on the Infamous and perfected it with Hell on Earth. And then you get all these, like the Infamous Mob, you got Capone and Noriega, you got actually my favorites like Royal Flush or Mike Geronimo. I remember Mike Geronimo, first time I heard Mike Geronimo, I got this 12-inch, well it was a CD actually, it wasn't a 12-inch, Shit's Real, with the B-side, actually with the additional track called Hemming Heads. That's the first time I heard of Mike Geronimo. I fucking love that shit, you know what I mean? And then Royal Flush came out with, I'm not too sure which one was like first, Moving on Your Week production. I love that one anyway. And then all the shits that came out from Royal Flush I love. But yeah, well actually recently, a couple of weeks ago, I did a remix for the Moving on Your Week production joint. Just for fun, you know what I mean? There was no like purpose behind it, you know what I mean? I just did it and posted a little clip on Instagram, and yeah, I tagged Royal Flush, and actually he liked it and asked me if he could use that joint for his new album called Ghetto Billionaire. Obviously I said yes. So well, I'm not sure if this is really gonna happen, but well, just alone that he asked me was crazy for me, you know what I mean? So yeah, I sent that over, and well, we'll see. Maybe it's gonna be on there if I'm lucky. Yeah, I met, you know, like I can't remember the year. It must have been like 1996 or 97 when Mobb Deep was on tour in Germany, and they had a little show here, and in a place called Kassel, and they well, we arrived early because it's like an hour from where we lived, or an hour and a half to go there. So they were outside the club and they had a little basketball hanging there, you know, like it wasn't a real basketball court, it's just like a wall with like this, where you could shoot some balls and shit, you know what I mean? So Havoc was actually playing outside with some of their crew and shit. So we kind of played with him a little bit, you know, just shoot some balls and shit, you know what I mean? Well, let's say 20 years later. Like, I can't remember, when was that? Like 2017? Mobb Deep, well, Havoc, no, it was maybe 2019 or something. Yeah, 19. So it was after Prodigy passed away, rest in peace. And they, in the club where I work, it's called Faust, and I'm a security there. I'm employed there as a security, and so actually some dude wrote them a crazy email. If they get on stage, something might happen or whatever. So they asked me to pick them up from the hotel basically and stay with them the whole time. So to me, you know what I mean? Remember, like back in the 90s, I had my Walkman on, and it was all Mobb Deep and Mike Geronimo, all Queens, all on the tapes, all their shits. Like I loved the episodes of Hustler, Big Noise and all that shit. And then now I'm hanging out with them, kind of hanging out with them. You know what I mean? Like I was on stage with them. You know what I mean? They were rapping fucking Shook Ones Part 2, and I stood like literally next to them. You know, who would have thought that this happened to me? You know what I mean? So crazy, man. So yeah, that's my little And I told the story to Havoc. I obviously couldn't remember that we played some basketball, but I mean, he must have met a million people. Obviously, he wouldn't remember me, but you know what I'm saying? But he said that's cool, and then he said, I hope it's not gonna take another 20 years until we meet again and shit. You know what I mean? Like, probably will. But yeah, it was cool. After I hung out with Big Noid a little bit, that's just crazy, man. Because I still remember to this day me walking around with my headphones on and listening to episodes of A Hustler and shit like that. You know what I mean? Crazy. And yeah, man. So and then now that if that really happened with my remix getting on that new Royal Flash album, that would be crazy awesome. You know what I mean? So yeah, my little Queensbridge affiliation story and shit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, also back in the 90s, like, when was that, like 97, I did a little, you know, the Mobb Deep had a 12-inch out, it was like unofficial, I think, like, I don't know who pressed that, you know, they had a song called Young Love, with that sample, they used a sample from a Prince track, but they couldn't put it on the album, I think because of sample rights and shit like that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so the 12-inch was just that 12-inch with that little label on it, with this Mobb Deep dragon, you know what I mean? Like, I used that shit to, so I got this Mobb Deep dragon tattooed on my forearm, like when I was, that was like back in like 90, when was that, like 97? I had that done, you know what I mean? That's how crazy I was, you know. But yeah, man, that's my little Queensbridge story. So yeah, that's it. Peace.